I have noticed that the more friends I had, the more people that I hung around with, the bigger my social circle, the more drama ensued. Drama amongst others, drama that I was included in, problems and stress, unnecessary stress, because of how large my social circle was. But I noticed that when my social circle dwindled over time, either because I decided to cut people off, or they decided to cut me off, or we just both went our separate ways, I noticed that less problems were prevalent in my life. I noticed that I was not being a part of some sort of drama that a friend had. I was not having to listen to negativity, complaints from other people all the time. That was draining my energy. That was making me feel really bad. That was making me, have to do errands for people or favors for people, for so many people. I felt like I didn't have to commit to maintaining friendships or relationships with so many people. So I had more time for myself. I didn't feel that I had so much of a responsibility to maintain that. But now that I have a smaller social circle, right? I have very, very few close friends that I would call my true friends. Very few that I could just count on my fingers. And because of this, I have less problems in my life. I have more peace in my life. I have less drama in my life. I have more time for myself. And because of that, I am able to give more of my heart and soul into the people that I care about, because the social circle is very small. And in return, the relationships have become a lot stronger. Because the less of something you have, the more you value it, because it becomes rare. And I understood more about this as I got older. That a lot of people are just gonna, leave in your life. A lot of people that you thought were your really, really close friends, or people that you really thought that they cared about you, and they end up just cutting you off, or they end up just going their separate ways. And I think that's just the reality of life, People change. Sometimes people's true colors show maybe years down the road. Maybe, the whole time they never really liked you, but they just pretended to like you because they wanted something from you. I have met people like that in my life that I've had to cut off. And it feels great to know that, there are people around me that actually genuinely care about me and my well-being. They care about me, and I care about them genuinely, because they have stuck with me through everything in my life. Through my lowest point in my life, they've been there for me. And those types of people that I have in my life, they don't ask for things from me, and they do things out of the goodness of their heart. And I do the same thing because I value them, I cherish them. But before, when I had such a large circle, it was never like that, because there were so many people that I had to talk to and maintain, and the ties with, and the energies were different amongst different people. The vibes were different amongst various people that I knew. And the reality is, even a king in a country that has, that is running a kingdom of hundreds of thousands of people, even the people closest to them may stab them in the back. Or even the people that support the king only support him out of fear not out of respect, because he is of authority. He has the power, right? But those people are not his true friends, or they would never be there for him in his darkest times, right? It's the same. It's the same thing as having a large circle of friends, a large social circle where there may be some people who are conspiring against you, but you would never even know. And there may be some people that don't want you to do good in life. They want you to stay on that same level as them. There are some people who don't support you, but yet you still maintain relationships with them for God knows what reason. But I think the good part is of getting older is that I feel like nature has this natural course. Like life just has this natural course of cutting out the people that are don't you don't really need in your life. Like it just happens when you get older, you know. And I think that's just the natural phase of life, and that's a good thing. So you shouldn't feel that you are losing, opportunities, because your relationships with certain people have cut off. No, one door closes, a better one opens. That's something that we need to remember, is that there will always be better opportunities. There will always be better relationships with people as you get older, because one, you learn your lessons too, and you become more self-aware of what type of people you want in your life and what type of people you don't want in your life, because as you get older you become wiser, right? For most people they become wiser. And yeah, it's very interesting that, and sad, that some people just come in your life and then they just go. They come and go. And no matter how much you try to maintain that relationship with that person, it may not get reciprocated back, because the relationship has to go both ways. Everyone has to put in the same amount of effort, and if one person is pulling more weight, then it's not going to work out. That's just how it works. And even when people are cut out from your life, you also need to think about yourself too. You may be the problem as well. Why people have cut you off. So it's a good way to introspect and reflect on what things you need to improve on about yourself. So even though it's a loss, it's still a win for you in a sense, because you can learn something from it. Only if you take the time to self-reflect. Because no one is perfect, right? Everyone has flaws in their lives. And sometimes, you may have hurt someone really bad you may have said something to them, and they may have gotten really offended, or they may have gotten really hurt, and that's why they cut you off. Or sometimes someone may have said something to you and you had to cut them off because they drew the line. Maybe they were talking smack about your family, which is that's something no one should ever cross that line. But once they do, you need to cut them off, because they 100% have disrespected you, and they never really respected you in the first place. And then there are some people who are just around you because they need something from you, right? Hey man, yo bro, can you give me a ride here? Can you give me a ride there, man? Hey bro, can you give me like $100, bro? I promise I'll owe you back. And they never do, right? Then there are some people who just want to be around you for clout. They want to be popular, or but on the good side, there may be people who want to learn from you. They may look at you, they may idolize you in the sense that they may feel inspired by you. Maybe I want to become stronger, so I look at this guy's buff. I want to be around him. I want to be around his positivity and energy and stuff like that. But also we need to realize something. When you are a very positive person, or when you bring good vibes to people, when you have good energy, when you have charisma, we need to be very careful with this, because sometimes we may attract the wrong kinds of people. Charisma attracts everyone, right? Charisma attracts a lot of people, but it may also attract the wrong kind of people that you don't want in your life. So we need to be very careful with this. And sometimes we need to draw the line sometimes, We need to be able to know when when to close our heart and close our kindness towards people. At a certain point we need to realize this, because some people may take advantage of you. Some people may just use you for their own benefit, you know. So these are just some things that we need to be aware of. And thank you for watching this video. See you next time.